then try to do, primarily myself and others in relation to editing, is to make sure that the document you see today will act as a sort of standard bearer for guides in the future. This first guide that we produced, the Institute has paid for, and although some of you here tonight who may not be members have been asked to pay for it, that is because, unfortunately, we would love to be able to say, here's a copy free of charge from the Institute, but we just can't afford to do that. The costs at the moment that we're looking at, for members of course, we're offering this first one free of charge. There'll be a postage and packing cost for those who aren't here this evening. But there will be concessions for other associations like ACES, universities, etc., where you'll be looking at a charge of about £15 for postage and packing. And then for sort of anybody else, general public, etc., we'll be looking at a charge of £25 per copy. So we do hope that that still represents good value for what we hope is a very good and professional document. Having said that, going forward, we are not going to be in a position to produce further guides unless we get that underwritten by sponsorship. So if I tell you that the next guide that we are hoping to produce is currently going through an editing process, it's been written already, is on security risk management, and we are looking at a further guide coming out towards the end of the year after that on CCTV. Tonight, certainly, apart from having perhaps discussions around the content of this guide in particular, I'm very interested to hear about areas that you feel there are shortfalls in information, in good, solid guidance in areas of our security work that you feel we could fill a gap. That is useful for two reasons. Firstly, because it helps you as members, but secondly, it also helps us sell copies, if I'm being blunt and honest about it, because if you think about it, there are plenty of university courses out there at the moment, and we feel there probably is a paucity of information on certain areas of talk courses, and we feel again there might be opportunities to target universities in relation to producing information and guides that may help future students on those courses too. So if you do have ideas tonight in relation to topics that you think are particularly of interest, they're topical, perhaps they're slightly controversial, as I say, areas where you feel there is a lack of information on, we'd be very interested, or I'd be very interested to hear about that, because we're very keen to see further work developed next year, because we hope to produce some in the region of between 3 and 5 guides a year, something like that. I'm also interested to hear any volunteers. They can be members, but they don't have to be in relation to writing these guides. We're typically looking for about 4 members, or I should say rather 4 people on a working group, of which some of those may be members, others may not be. We are looking for people who have a good understanding of this particular area that we're writing about. This particular document that you're looking at today, it's sort of a bit of a small book really. It's about 15,000 words, so it's quite a lot of work. But nonetheless, I hope that it represents a very professional and thorough document on the issue of workplace investigations. So I do sort of commend the document to you, and I hope that, having had an initial flick through tonight, plus the Q&A we'll have next from David and Gus, that I hope, once you've had a really good look at it, you will recommend it to fellow colleagues, others in the workplace who may have a need for this document. We do hope it's written in a very simple to follow way, but at the end of the day, it hopefully is also very useful to those of you who conduct workplace investigations, and for those that may have an interest or a peripheral involvement in workplace investigations, perhaps need to know a little bit more about where the pitfalls are.